How do you stay driven? I'm gonna ask you a question. How don't you stay driven? Well, let me get this right. You won the lotto of the universe, which is you are a human being on Earth. And you're not driven, and you're not fired up, and you're not going for it, and you're willing to sit like a lump and just wait till you die, you suck. We're running the gamut of somebody who's literally in the Hall of Fame to somebody who literally didn't make it into a first season, but it's all the same thesis to why I was intrigued by our call and how we got to this second meeting, which is, listen, there's gonna be there's a percentage of, with no question, I'm gonna be able to walk into mama's house across the country and win. Because the ones that have the best emotional intelligence are gonna realize I'm gonna do a better job for their son than the majority. As all this digital stuff works, as you know, I have 14-year-old girls making more money on Musical.ly with content I'm doing than fucking first round picks in the NFL and NBA draft making fucking endorsements in a year. I mean, it's crazy. So I'll win that. I want to surround the agency with that. And so what the agency wants to do is be incredible sports agents, like really know how to do contracts and all that stuff, but become the greatest machine ever in the building of personal brand and in endorsements. But really, and I think you're gonna like this based on, it sounds like your upbringing, I really want people to feel like they're, like in 8 years, 10 years, I want the reputation of VaynerSports to be like, you go there because they teach your son how to become a man for real.
Yeah, for sure.
Real pleasure, man. Yeah,
you got
wish
it.
you well.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
My name's Tyler Schmidt. I have been working here at Vayner. November will be 3 years, November 11th. And I first started as community manager here. Then got to know Gary and AJ through playing morning basketball. I used to take a 5:15 train in from Jersey just to get to know those guys. And then one day AJ was looking for an assistant, Gary's younger brother. And I said, whatever the hell I can do to make that happen, I would love to. And so I met with AJ a couple times, one thing led to another, and I moved into that role. Was with AJ up until he stepped away. And when he stepped away, I was kind of thinking about what else to do. And Gary kind of brought it up to me about the potential of doing it. And after doing it for 2 years, it was, I made the decision overnight to end up working with him because it was a no-brainer, but it's definitely an interesting role. With AJ, it was very operational. It was very, about the internal VaynerMedia operations. And then Gary's just a whole different beast in the sense of, he's the CEO of VaynerMedia, but at the same time, that's like one of a million different things that he's doing. And so it was definitely a learning curve in terms of speed, in terms of work ethic, in terms of hours that I've put in. And at first it was super tough for me actually, because I was trying to operate in my old ways of the amount of time that I was working, the focus that I was putting in at work, and I wasn't doing a good job, which in turn was tough because I was like, I wasn't adjusting to what the role needed, and then just was thinking that the role was hard and like, oh, this sucks, da 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 da. But once I changed my mindset in terms of like, this is super doable, you just need to attack it and start working more. So now I've been putting in the hours, and the more I've been working, the more I've come to love it.
I would tell you, the way most people digest environment is very different than the way I do. For example, if you think of it as just a human-based thing, the amount of people that come out of homes that aren't pretty and don't have good skylines and come out and are straight winners. I grew up in a townhouse. That environment, it wasn't, it's not about having a foosball table. The environment is only the people. It's not the tables and the chairs and the views and the location. People are always like, look, Gary, we've updated our office. And they're like, we're like you now, we're open. I'm like, you're the furthest thing from us ever. When you are forced to do the right thing, you're doing the wrong thing. That's it. Either you just are or you aren't. This is binary. Hard wiring, my ethos, who I am, is adversity, is underdog. I won the wine world. I won the wine business world. What did I do with that? I left it and came into an industry where I was nothing. And everybody made fun of me. I'm Twitter boy, I have a lot of Twitter followers. I'm gonna start an agency, and now I'm fucking sticking it to their faces, right? And now I'm almost done. In another 5 or 7 years, I'll build the undisputed great agency of this generation. And you know how I'm gonna handle that? Not by cashing in and fucking laying on a beach. I'm gonna do what I always do, which is walk directly away from it and start a new challenge where I'm the underdog. Wait, he can't do that. That has nothing to do, don't forget what I did. I went from the wine retail business to the advertising agent that had no connection. And so, you know, I don't know, I'm gonna go win a fucking Golden Globe or something. They're mostly seeking the dirt when they should be looking for the clouds. I would say 80% of the time, I sure can, 80% of the time people are asking me for a tactic that's gonna allow them to win when they don't realize that it's the strategy that's got them stuck to begin with. Their North Star, what they're trying to achieve. And so, almost all the time, it's a dirt question. Gary, how exactly do I use Facebook to make $1 trillion? Have you thought about like not trying to make $1 trillion in 5 seconds? Have you thought about understanding communication before you worry about what it means in a Facebook environment? So almost every question that's asked of me is a dirt question, and almost everything I do is predicated on a clouds strategy. How do you stay driven? I'm gonna ask you a question. How don't you stay driven? Well, let me get this right. You won the lotto of the universe, which is you are a human being on earth. I'm just gonna say this, I mean, I don't think people think about this. You won the lotto. You, in the universe, you're not some weird specimen in Mars that does nothing. You're not, you know, a bird. You're not a sunflower. Like, you are a human being on earth. You won the ultimate lottery, and you're not driven, and you're not fired up, and you're not going for it, and you're willing to sit like a lump and just wait till you die. You suck. Like, I don't know, you suck. Like, how do I stay driven? Because I couldn't even comprehend the alternative. And by the way, let me clarify one thing. If you're happy with your life and you don't complain, play Pokemon Go 15 hours a day, right? It's too many people complain that they're not winning and they're not auditing their actions and realizing that they're spending too much of their allocation of time on leisure and escapism, and that's fine, but work is the variable of success. Work. At some level, I'm just trying to be realistic. How about just having a conversation of that you don't know a single person on earth that's successful that didn't put in work? Nobody watching this right now knows a single person that became successful without the work. We have different levels of talent, all that, but work required, my friends, work required. Another good day, super productive, banging out operations at scale, client stuff. Just a really, really solid day. Going to a little bit of event here at Hudson Yards now. Got another kind of spec meeting tonight. Just grinding along. Tomorrow, big day. Jets football, season on the line. Season on the line, 5 seconds into this world. Anyway, hope everybody's doing well. Talk to you soon.